hopefully we get underway in a couple of minutes. Oh, and we are live. Let's go. Looking like, oh god, my phone's caught. Oh god, we are still missing a fair few drivers. Not sure where they all are. But I'm just waiting. Bow, 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 bow. What's up, guys? Joining the streams, and we've had another. I'm so confused what these guys do. But we've got a full team of Ferrari, full team of. Look, we've got the reliable guys usually, and then I guess the Haas that they're scripting like real life. Both drivers disappearing from this end of the season, but you know. We are still missing a couple, which is a bit of a surprise, especially as it's Div 1. We're very, very good on attendance, but yeah. I'm very much not too sure. One, two, three, four, five. Da, 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 na, 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 na. Rightio. We are. Oh, what? They can already up. We've got the word from thingy to ready up, and oh god. As per... Right, okay. Great start. Just as we mean to go on, I guess. Hopefully Maz turns up. I have said to him he will turn up, hopefully, for the race. But, you know, I'm filling in, so don't be a stroppy cunt. What's up, Liam? Right, Q1, here we go. Russia, the land of Kvyat, and soon to be possibly the most hated driver on the grid, apparently. In Mazepin, I guess they've always got to have a Russian guy. I'm going to start putting an 18 plus in the corner if this is meant to be PG. But no. Hopefully we can see Droftas actually start proving why he's a championship leader. The last two races have been a bit of a shit show for him, but you know, X-gaming, Droftas to crash, Droftas standard, but you know, we move. Oh. Right. I'm assuming. Oh, it looks pretty dark. Maybe some rain is inbound. But it does look like we are only going to lose one guy. So if they invalidate, they could be in for a bit of a nightmare. Now, I'm just going to check the United score, because I've seen things. They have only just kicked off, but apparently people are saying, what the hell was... nothing, apparently. I'm very much confused, but, you know. Dry. Oh, damn, I wanted to see some wet, if I'm being honest. But we've got our... What is that? That's, yeah, so Williams a fatality coming out first. So, it does actually look somewhat damp, looking at that, or it's just a bit dusty. I mean, it is Russia, so the possibility of dust is a thing. Apparently someone's on my drive, that's always great. But guess we're going to sit on board with Fatality. We're going to see what he does, because he's been a man who's been on and off form recently. Qualifying has looked great, improving week in, week out, but race, he just can't hook it together for 45 minutes. It's whether he focuses too much of his time on qualifying or... but he does always seem to have a mistake in him, and it does cost him big time. We've got Tango in here as well, the other Williams. He hopefully has replaces Potato this week. I should probably get the lap delta and the track map up to see where we are. And you know what? He's not even the furthest round. I've completely missed that. Andreas is the furthest. And we're going to sit on board with his lap, because I think he's quite good at this track, of what I remember on older games. Whether he still is now is a complete different story. Chapelele's still in the pits. I don't know how good he is around here. Droftas, I'm pretty sure, is alright around here, so, you know, no pressure, but I'm expecting things. It's all about the exit of that turn 2 there, because honestly, you can't really do all that much. And it's looking quite good at the moment. Just wait for me to get warmed up into the commentary booth at the moment, because I've had an absolutely very stressful day on FIFA, and I wanted to see if anyone's... Oh, no one's on my drive, okay. So, getting distracted a little bit there, but Andreas into this left-hander. And maybe a bit cautious as it's his first lap, or whether he's running under steering setup, but he doesn't seem to be getting the turning or the hold on some of the corners that I would have expected from a qualifying lap. But obviously he does go purple. Very, very difficult corner here, sector 3. The back end of this car always wants to go, and here we go. This is the most horrific corner on the track. That back end is very, very easy to just slide out or step out on you, and I think it will affect quite a lot of drivers today, if I'm being honest. And coming around the final corner, just absolutely send it in there on your hot lap, and that's a 30.6. Now we're going to quickly go, if I can get there, with Liam. He's going to come around the corner, see what he can do. It's 31.7, so Andreas' time looking quite decent at the moment. There is a... oh, it's Fatality has invalidated. Then we've got Abbasus. He's quality in terms of his form. Very, very consistent, very good driver. A brilliant find, an addition to this league. And Paulie Orange on 30.68 milliseconds quicker, and that just shows that Andreas' time was a good time, because we know Paulie Orange is no slouch. Farhad now, and Elhan going 1 millisecond quicker than Paulie Orange, so there's a 7 millisecond gap between first and third, and if it stays like that, I'll be loving life today. But you know, I just have a feeling it won't. And Droftas is invalidating. He loves a little bit of a bottle, but I think he's going to be setting up for another lap. We are going to sit on board with the man himself. I've got a spot on my tongue, it really fucking hurts. But we do have Chapelele on a lap as well. Whether he's looking alright as well. So just see how Droftas attacks his first corner, really cutting that close to getting invalidation. But that's what you need to do. Ride in the curb. You need to be cutting the shortest lines at every single corner. And maybe a tiny bit more you could have got out of that corner, but you know, you can never ever get a perfect lap. There's always something more you can do, especially as this is Q1, so you should hopefully just get through quite easily today, but you know, anything can happen, as we are going to see him go through. This is very easy to invalidate there if you carry a little bit too much speed in. We're going to see Chapelele's time pop up on the board in a minute. We're going to see what he does. I have a feeling it's going to be a low 30s, but here we go. Chapelele invalidated. Not sure where he did, probably enter sector 3, but Droftas going purple sector 2. Whether that is actually a purple sector 2 or not, that is yet to be seen, but looking very strong, nice and smooth, nice and clean. Very dodgy corner. You can see this loses the back end a tiny bit, but doesn't really need to overcorrect too much. And Chapelele is confused with fatality, and I would and that is a 30.3, so 0.3 of a second quicker. Chapelele is not happy with the Williams, as it seems. As FTH KRC is one of the only people on a lap at the moment, as I'd assume the rest of them are on in laps. And there's no real reason to push too hard around here today. As long as you're not the slowest, you'll be alright. Obviously one person's got to go, but the chances of that being you is 1 in 16. So, and that is an invalidation there by FTH. Now, we are going to talk Russia and Russian drivers, because Kvyat, well, we're going to avoid talk about Mazepin. It's a sensitive subject at the moment, but Kvyat, honestly, we are going to be losing an absolutely incredible driver. I would honestly say he's possibly one of the more underrated drivers on the grid, but you know, there's not really much you can do about that, because Tsunoda's coming up, the Japanese almost prodigy. He looks quality, but I mean, would I prefer to see him over Gasly? I don't know, but that's 0.3 of a second up though by Tango in sector 2. That's on his time, not the actual Droftas time that has been set, but it's looking good. So it's quite early to set an incredible lap, but we will be seeing Chapelele come round again soon, hopefully giving himself a little bit more space to keep out of the way of the Williams. But here we go, really throwing it around there and almost going on to pole, and that really does start catching me out. But we are going to go on board with Chapelele and just see what he can do, because we've got Emerson who's still in the pits as well. He's a very quick driver, always up there, getting himself into the top 2 or 3 all the time. But yeah, Maz has finished his work now. He's just faffing about, I guess, and here we go. The man who plays a different game to everyone else, but yet can still connect, because honestly his pace is something else. I would like to see it very close today though. I don't necessarily want him to be dominating by too much, but I do believe he'll probably, seeing what we've seen from Droftas, I have a feeling it's going to be a high 29. And here we go. Just the grip this man gets from every corner. I mean, there we go. It's a purple sector 1. What else did we expect? He's going to, he doesn't seem to suffer with grip loss, but the drive and the turning he gets out of corners, it's just so hooked up, isn't it? Almost an invalidation there. I did see a bit of movement on there, but I'm not too sure. I think that's FTH going over 31.2, and it does look like it, as there is a McLaren just there. Oh, and a purple sector 2 by Chapelele. Now, Is he going to be able to hook up this sector 3? Does seem to be where he does pull most of his time on these drivers, in the more technical areas, where he can really use his like early shifting and just experience on the game to a whole nother level. And there you go, it's a high 29. He's 5 tenths clear of Droftas. Now whether that was a good lap or not is yet to be seen, because we've still got Q2 and 3 to see. I do believe this is a medium to hard strategy race. It's always a safe bet, but we still have a lot of drivers who are yet to go out, so maybe leaving it just to one run, which is not necessarily the best thing to do, but I guess hey ho, what can you do? As we do have movement in the Renault garage, as we will just sit on board. It's Liam, yeah. I'm not confident with the time here set. Andreas has retired from the session, oddly enough. So, if these guys set in any... Wait, he's crashed out. Andreas is crashed on the final corner. Oh, no, on the exit of the final corner, he's put it into... The sad thing is, there's no one near enough for us to see what he's doing, but it does look like Fatality and Chapelalia are together again. I think they are lovers. But yeah, no, not much to be said. Oh my god. Sorry, I've been up since 6. And we've got Tango has retired from the session, and Energetics is on his out lap. He just needs to drive around in the middle of the circuit, just put in a time. That's literally all I can say just to these guys. Just dump in a time and you'll be alright, because Andreas is out of quali and you only lose 16th here, so no, oh, invalidated. Oh, I really hope that isn't this next lap. It's not, luckily. There we go, just got to have Fatality apologising in the chat for, oh no, but it's luckily he hasn't invalidated, really missed his braking zone there, Energetics. And I tell you what, that Alfa Romeo has grown on me a lot this year, but just the engine sound is, oh, it's disgusting. But, oh. Droftas has retired from a session, thinking his time is good enough to get him through, and Energetics is invalidated. Now he's going to want to hope that these guys aren't going to improve, because realistically he could drive around on low fuel and get through if he really needed to. I'm not sure if he will get booted out, but I can't be too sure. But hopefully Q2 will be a bit more active in terms of the drivers. We've actually only had 10 drivers set a time for some reason. Now we've got another, I think that's Liam yet out again. Yes it is, and Energetics is going for another lap. He's fueled up for enough, and that's another Renault. So the Renault's coming in and out, but Energetics done it again. He's completely broken too late. Now that could be very, very dangerous going into turn 1 of lap 1, but you know, and look at how close you can get to the invalidating these laps. And realistically, I mean, Let's just say it. The strict corner cutting on this game is a lot worse than it is in real life. Real life, they basically don't have track limits. I know they've got a lot harsher on them this year, but no, they've still got a big amount of leeway. Turned off racing line. Yeah, he turned. I think he's turned off racing line a little while ago now. He's obviously not necessarily getting the practice he would ideally want in. You can always tell he is a rapid driver when he is when he does have his line on, but yeah, no, it's possibly not one of the best tracks either, to be honest, in terms of quality of drive, and that will put him through. But in Chapelele, soft medium. It's a soft medium. I was completely wrong. I couldn't have got that more wrong if I tried, unless I said intermediates. But so we will be seeing soft compounds running. Maybe Chapelele Droftas might be running the mediums just for the sake of running the mediums. But for some reason, Dan, Emerson, Phil, and Nosey are yet to set a time. Now I'm not quite sure why, but they haven't set a lap time. No, obviously Energetics isn't going again. Emerson's retired from the session, and Energetics is invalid. It is in lap. As FDH did improve on his time by about a tenth, but you know, unless he's got maybe 4 or 5 tenths more in the bag, it's not going to get him much higher up. There does seem to be a bit of a leap from Fatality to the top 5. Which is kind of interesting, but it does look like FTH is still up on his time again, but it does look like on his steering wheel, I do feel like he might be running out of ERS deployment. Now he's just got to make sure he doesn't mess it up, because obviously that is exactly what I said not to do, and we could have just witnessed another retirement. Yeah, the incident deadline's already out, and FDH has got no front wing, as you do love to see that. And Nosey is still in the pits. I really don't know what's happening with these guys, but maybe they're thinking no one can go out. Well, I'm pretty sure P16 does go out, so. But that is them 3. Oh, well, Andreas, I would have assumed, is out of the session, but Nosey's still below him, and I'm just wondering if we're going to lose 2 drivers, or if we are just going to lose Andreas, because I don't know. And it's getting sunnier. Look at that. It's getting sunnier, so the track's going to get quicker, and I do believe we're probably going to see a low 29 in this qualifying. Maybe even a 28, I think. But there we go. And Jess is going to come round and actually cross the line, because yeah, he doesn't fancy it. And there we go, that is qualifying done. And we're just going to see, because I want to see if my suspicions are true, if Nosey's also out of qualifying, because I just don't get what the fault is not setting a time. Here we go. Da-da, da-da. Andreas is out, and Nosey is out of qualifying. That's a big mistake there from him, not just driving around. I don't see the thought process behind it, but he is going to be starting at the back of the grid with Andreas at P15. Now, it's all to fight for. There's only 4 drivers that will go out of the session in Q2. Now, it's P14, 13, 12, and 11. It's all to fight for. These guys haven't set a time yet, so there's no warm-up for them. But I'm not sure what they're necessarily going for, because with it. But yeah, no, Knowles, he is a very, very good racer in terms of getting himself around with no penalties, but he's got a job to do now. He's starting at the back. Now, if any of them are watching the stream, I would like, would you be able to tell me what that was all about? Because I'm not too sure. Now, it's very nice and sunny now. I'm just wondering if these guys are going to come out and set another lap, or just going to give these guys through into Q3. But that is, both Mercs are out. Well, one of them didn't even turn up, and the other one is out. We are looking like the Ferrari of, is that Paulie Orange? Yeah, Paulie Orange is going to be the first one out in front of the Williams this time, and I have caught the right car this time. The number 66 of Paulie Orange, an absolutely incredible driver who's improving week on week out. And I tell you what, next season, if Chapelele does stay, will he be able to challenge the Red Bull driver, or is he going to be maybe fighting for the latter stages of, you know, the podium positions? But you know what, he's getting quicker and quicker every week, and I don't know where the cap is for this guy, if I'm being honest. We've been shown if he does practice, he is one of the quickest on the track, but we will have to shoot over to Chapelele as he is the furthest in front. Paulie Orange having a very, very chilled lap around here. Now, we have seen Chapelele now on the mediums. Will he be able to, if he does qualify on the mediums, will he be able to keep in front of everyone? But I do think he's going to lose positions. Now, I do think the mediums are the better start tyre because, just purely based on the fact they last longer when everyone's up in a cluster. So, and by the time you fit on these softs, they're going to be a much lighter car. You're going to be able to basically just pump in quali lap after quali lap after quali, but then you've got to do overtaken. So it's, you know, it goes both ways. So if you are confident in your ability to overtake, then go for the opposite strategy. But if you're not, then yes, you've got to take the good with the bad. But here we go, Chapelele on his qualifying run. We're gonna go for our little TV cameras, you know, this time, because yeah, let's spice it up, add a little bit of sauce to the stream. I mean, I don't have much anyway, because, you know, I'm not the most confident commentator, but I step in when I need to. Can't leave you guys without a stream, and it's kind of my job to just cover for everyone. But extremely close to the wall there. Purple sector 1, big lockup going into turn 5, I think that is. And now coming round the corner here, it's invalidated there, and FTH is the next man around. Is he going to do the same? No, he doesn't. And that means he's going to have the time to beat if he can keep this all on the track. Now, whether it will stand for a long time, I don't know, but here we go. And he's going to come down this straight into sector 3. Now, this is the most technical part of the track by a very, very long way. The rest of it is pretty damn simple, really, just left, right. But this is obviously up and down hills. Compared to the rest of this circuit, it's a completely different setup, if I'm being honest, if you want to optimize it. But here we go. It is going to be a 32-2, so I can see that being toppled quite quickly, if I'm being honest. And here we go. We've got a Renault coming across, and there we go. That is almost a second quicker. He's on the softer compounded tyres, though, so... But Paulie Orange now a 30.4 on the softer compounded tyres again. So obviously thinking that is the best way to go about it. But again, he's not far off Droftas's best time. Still no movement, though, from Dan and Emerson, which is a bit strange, but, you know. And Droftas going a provisional pole time of a 1:33.37, so it is consistent, a little bit slower than last quali session, which is a bit weird. But Emerson is now out of the pits, and he is going to be setting a time on the medium compound tyres. Now Avicus is going to be coming round to set his lap. Whether it'll be any good, I keep losing this, and this is what I want. Now, it's not going to be a great time. It's not really possibly what you would want. That's not going to get him through, especially if these guys are setting times on softs and everything. But Emerson getting out of the way quite nicely for Fatality, and needs to just make sure he has the gap to Fatality when he starts. Liam, yeah, coming around. This is his lap, actually, so we'll stick on board through sector 3, and almost loses the car. And as you can see there, this car just... These F1 cars do not work well at low speed. It's just how downforce works. They're so downforce heavy that they're just not built to drive at these speeds, and you can just tell as soon as these cars slow down to maybe below 50 miles an hour, they do get very, very slidey. And Ailhan is another man who is absolutely rapid and will be wanting to see himself into Q3. Paulie Orange getting out the way of these guys. Whether he's on low fuel mode is another question, but Emerson now on a fast lap, so I will sit on board with him, see what he can do, because I think if he does mess up the medium run, he might have to run onto the softs. I'm not quite sure what the boundary is from starting on the mediums, but you know, he's not really giving himself much time though to mess up. But he has set a purple sector 1, which is very, very impressive considering the tyre he's on. But Tango has got the best medium time at the moment of 1:31.796. Whether he can beat that is anybody's guess. Getting very, very close to the edge there. And getting a nice run out of there. Maybe not on the optimum one, but here we go. He's going to be coming into sector 3, my favourite sector, especially to watch on this track. And I would like a different camera angle, please. But we're not going to get one. And here we go. I mean, are we going to sit on this forever? No. Okay, so coming around the final couple corners, it gets very simple around here. Just don't run over the curbs on the outside, which he has managed to not do. Don't cut this inside corner, and you're all right. And it's 31.5, 2 tenths quicker than Tango, which is brilliant, really. Now, Ailhan on the soft compounded tyres, he has set a purple sector 1, and he's going to be really gunning to prove that he's not just a second driver. He is up there, and he can definitely compete with the best. Droftas is still sitting in the pits. Dan Murphy has still not moved. I'm not quite sure if he's otherwise engaged, but that's a purple sector 2 there from Ailhan. Obviously we do have glitches, but I don't believe this is a glitch, if I'm being honest. Ailhan is a very quick driver, and coming round, and it's going to be coming around these 2 corners, maybe the trickiest on the circuit. And coming around the final 2 corners, it is going to be a 30.6, 3 tenths off. Whether how much of that was in the final sector is another question. But we do have Chapelele, who has actually set a time on the mediums, which is insanely quick, actually, a 30.7. So he will more than likely be going through, as Emerson is 7-8 tenths off of him on the same tyres. As Energetics is struggling, Liam is also struggling to set a time, and Phil Razor is trying to get through on the mediums, and if he messes this up, that's him out. As Abbasus may have just had a very, very big issue. He's saying his throttle's just broke on him. Whether that's a issue that he can get sorted now, or that's it going to unfortunately make him retire, I'm not 100% sure. And Phil has spun it, and he's going to have to get himself into the pits, whack on those soft tyres. It's not ideal, but it's the only way he's going to get himself through, and he's going again. He's really cutting it down to the wire. But here we go, and he's going to put himself into P11. It's not enough to get through at the moment, but Energetic still not able to get through. Liam again not able to do much in ways of setting a valid lap time. As we have 4 minutes left of the session, and only a couple drivers out on track now, as Elhan is coming into the pits as well. We're going to sit on board with Abbasus. He does look like he's all right, luckily so, but he does need to get himself through. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you on board with Abbasus, and then I'm going to go to the toilet quickly, because I feel like this is a better time than any while you're on board with a hot lap. So I will be right back. And I am back, and Abbasus is still on his out lap, so I will be able to take you guys through the hot lap of Abbasus, who is actually in the danger zone right now. Whether it will stay dangerous, because it does look that Dan Murphy has keeled over in the pits and is now asleep in his car, maybe, I'm not quite sure, but he is going to be, well, I don't think he will be making it through Q2 and will be starting down in P14 if Liam can put himself a lap together. But here we go, Abbasus, the man in the hot seat right now. He is in the danger zone. If he improves, which is more than likely he will, that'll put FTH in danger. And now, does Abbasus want to go out there, put a statement, or does he just want to get himself through and maybe just fight for another day, maybe, and just, obviously we know he's got the pace, doesn't he? And he has got purple sector 1, a purple sector 2 as well. Whether that's real or not, he is 2 seconds up on his time, which doesn't look like it's purple, but we will see as he does come around these corners, very much hooking them up. Maybe not the best exit out of that corner, maybe losing a little bit, overcommitting on the entrance, but here we go. He's going to be going through. It's just what time? It's a 30.376, so not quite a provisional pole time, but he will be going through. Now FTH is the man in the hot seat. He's going to be under the pressure because the next man coming across the line is Energetics. He's not invalidated, but he has not yet, and that's going to put FTH out. Tango is now the man in the danger. He's on a hot lap, on an out lap. Is he going to get... He will get round in time. Now, it seems like there's a bit of a train forming here. Phil's on an out lap. We've also got Emerson also on an out lap. These guys are queuing it up, but have they given themselves enough room? And they've also got to get out of the way for Liam, who's on a lap. But obviously, there we go. Emerson getting out of the way very nicely there, and having to get back on the line because you don't want to lose your position. And Liam, yeah, going up into P7 now. Energetic's the man in the danger zone. And then we've got loads and loads of drivers on laps. FTH is going to be the next one to come across the line. Whether he's going to improve is another question. If he improves, that puts Energetics out of qualifying. And then Emerson's the man in the drop zone. These guys are literally dropping each other like flies. And there we go. Emerson's now the one in the danger. He needs to get through, and he needs to improve on his medium time. Just make sure he doesn't invalidate, because if he does, that's it. That's curtains for him, because we do have Tango on a lap as well. He's even further. Phil is on a lap, who's not quite as far around as Tango, but Tango is the man who could be pushing Emerson provisionally out of this session if he can improve on his time. Now, coming down this straight, we're going to see what he can do in Sector 2. He is improving by almost a second, so as long as he doesn't invalidate, it does look like he's going to be pushing Emerson down into P11. And then Emerson's just got to make sure he doesn't invalidate, because if he does, that's it. That's curtains for him. As he does have two drivers in front of him setting lap time, so it could push him down all the way into P12. But obviously, that's not too much of a bother, as Nosy has just joined the session. Where he went is anybody's guess, but he puts himself up into P3. That's a statement of intent there. And Phil is the next man across the line. He's going to be coming around. He's up 2 temps. Is it going to be enough to put him into the top 10? No, it's not. That's P11 for Phil. But is he going to be pushed down into P12? Yes, he is. Emerson goes quick. And that is a 29.933. Now, is that it? That is the end of qualifying 2 for us then. So the drivers we have lost is Dan Murphy, Energetic down in P13. Phil Razor, unfortunately not able to improve enough and goes into P12. Farhad in P11. Only a couple of, like 30 milliseconds now off, 20 milliseconds off getting through, and FTH is in P10. And the last survivor of the session. Now Emerson's slap there really does maybe tell people he's here, and he's not going to take anything lightly, because that's an impressive time. Only a 10th off Chapelele's Q1 time. Now Chapelele did actually end up finishing in P8. It got a bit squeaky bum time for him maybe, but you know, he's the only one on the mediums, which could give him an advantage later on into the race. But coming off the start on this, I think, if I'm being perfectly honest, the hot seat in the starting positions is actually P3. You get a double slipstream, and you can actually, if you get a good enough start, you can easily jump the front two with the run into the second corner. As the first isn't really a corner, but you know. And I'm just going to message Maz to see if he will join me or if he's a lazy shit and won't. And we will wait for a reply from our main commentator, really. He makes me feel useless. But, you know, he doesn't know what commitment is, so, you know, he thinks a job is something to stop him. As we do have a Renault. No, we have actually got a car that's going to be exiting first, and that is Emerson is going to be the first man out on track. And he's going to be the one, I guess, to set the time to beat. Is that a new helmet? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it does like Liam, yeah, is following very closely actually, whether he wants to get past him or not. Ow, my tongue. Here's another question. It does look like he's backing off a little bit now, but Emerson with no, it does look like Liam's going to go down the inside, and there we go. Liam is through. It will be setting the time to beat. Maybe he thinks a track position is all that you need, and maybe that'll give him the confidence he needs, because his pace hasn't been up to what necessarily he would say is par, but he's not been enjoying Russia so far, I wouldn't have thought. But yeah, we only have the 10 drivers, so a lot of space on this track. Is very, very long and technical, so giving each other space and time is not going to be an issue around here, hopefully. As it was around in Monaco, in Division 2 especially, these guys were all over each other, and Pillars wasn't exactly enjoying life, was he? That's what you could hear by his voice. But here we go, as Liam Yet is going to be coming round the corners to start his flying lap. Now Emerson's given him an absolute world of time now in between them two, and you can see these guys are slowing up massively. There is going to be yellow flags in sector 3, it looks like, but you know. And it does look actually like Chapelele is way too close to the back of the Ferrari, and we have almost watched Liam Yedai. And here we go. Emerson is the man who's going to be setting the provisional pole lap now. Abbasis is right up the back of Paulie Orange. Maybe it's one of the nicer drivers to be behind, but Dirtier is not going to give him the prime the prime lap time that he can do. So I do expect maybe 2 tenths or so in that, but whether the slipstream that he is going to get down the back straights will maybe neglect that a bit more. But here we go, Emerson looking very, oh god, and I've now accidentally switched off of him. Emerson looking very, very good now, and looking like he's hooking up his lap very nicely. And again, this lap data just needs to stay on my screen, please. I would love it if it did, but looking like a pretty solid lap by the Racing Point driver. I still haven't had a reply from Maz. Doesn't look like we'll be getting him, sadly, but you know, I'm used to him bailing on me. And that is going to be a 29.859. I haven't seen anyone go quicker than that. I don't think that might be the actual pole time for today so far. And these guys pretty much matching times, as you'd expect, considering they're right behind each other. And yeah, Liam basically saying what I just said a minute ago, fuck my life. And he's not enjoying it at all. Droftas has invalidated. Chapelele is coming into sector 3 with a purple sector 2 under his belt, so I am wondering what this man can do. He is an insane driver. Where he finds the time over everyone else is somewhere in the realms of well, make-believe. But here we go, he's going to come across the line, and it's going to be a 29.4, but he invalidates it at the last second. He's not going to be happy about that, but yeah, he could have maybe given up a second or so. It did actually come up. He set that time. Fatality with 30.705, and apparently that's now the fastest time. And apparently Emerson doesn't have the fastest lap anymore, and everyone's setting fastest laps. And according to the game, the pole time is Ailhan's 30.2, which is impressive. Sorry about that, Emerson, but you don't count according to this game. Is Fatality on a lap? No, he's not, and he is letting Liam go. And Liam will be going for attempt numero 2 of his Russia Q3 time. Now, you can see he's maybe a little bit Ricciardo-esque inspired, his helmet, as he did rep that helmet in Australia I think it was last season. Ricciardo does change his helmet every other week pretty much, but I think he's finally found the one he likes to stick with. And we will be seeing probably a brand new helmet design from Ricciardo when he comes into McLaren as the new sponsors. Will have to be stuck on there, and he'll make it look good, I think. A very good partnership there by Norris and Ricciardo. Could be a very, very intimidating one, especially for the likes of Ferrari with Sainz and Leclerc, but their car should hopefully be a lot better next season as well. And we are going to be on board with Liam and see if he can do anything better than what he was able to do. He's not really having the best of times, but you know, what can you do apart from just try again every time? So I would have loved to see a black Renault, but obviously you can't see a black Renault and a black a black Merc as well, because you'd get confused, wouldn't you? As Robbie has replied to me now, and it will probably say no. Oh, and he said yes, he is. So I will just respond, don't I? And we're going to have this man in. Whether he will miss the start is another question. I really hope he doesn't, because he's a lot better than me. I do much prefer being the secondary commentator, but Droftas is on his lap. He's the one who could be really pushing Emerson for this pole time at the moment, because Chapelele's in the pits, probably absolutely raging that he's invalidated on the last second of that corner, not even. And obviously he needs to win every single race to have a possibility at this championship. Now, we've got until the end of January of races. I think this is the last race until our Christmas break. Whoever wins this race will be winning it, having a brilliant Christmas break, knowing they're on top of they're the quickest on the pack for the next 2-3 weeks. Now, the big thing is, how are these guys going to come back after Christmas? Because, well, oh god, we've got more talking. Tango, my lap was done on 4-lap old set, so more to come, and no pressure then, Tango, and that is Droftas into the pits. He does look like he's not too happy, and he's cutting this extremely close. With only a minute or so to go. Well, 3 minutes or so, but he's going to be coming out, and Lord, going to be busy. As Liam is coming round, he's invalidated. It does look like his qualifying session is going to be over though, and we've got a lot of cars coming out to the pitch. FTH is going to be the first one of the lot. Paulie Orange is the next, and I'm just going to, and as I as FTH is going to be our first man. Actually, another one I've completely missed. Oh, rightio. As we have got Maz now. Measles. Well, you're literally just in time for the race, because we're going on our last quali runs now. Use my Q1 tyres. Thought I'd have more time. There we go. It's fine, Tango. I think you're gonna get around. He invalidated on the last corner. Now I'm just going to adjust that. Yeah, so he invalidated on the last corner or so.
So has he not got time to go around again?
Well, he does. It's going to be it's not going to be too close, but Gurman saying Liam win. Howdy from Norway from One. I need to sort this out. Sorry. My party audio and the mix between the party audio and your voice, because, you know, You are a little bit quiet though, so you might want to...
I just realised that my mic's further away. I'm in now. Everyone's on out laps.
Well,
So
we've got
both
Tango...
and Chapelele haven't set laps.
Yeah. It's... it's... Actually, what I would also add is Emerson's time is possibly the quickest we've seen this session. Maybe a couple milliseconds in between him and that, so... But...
Yeah, in terms of the championship, obviously Droftas would like to have a good qualifying position because the past couple of races he's been entangled in the midfield and he's had some incidents which meant that he hasn't been able to... He's actually lost points to Chapelele in the championship, and he can win the championship today if he wins the race and Chapelele does not finish. So it's a big day for him, and it is possible. It's difficult. He's not expecting to win here, but it is possible for him to win the championship today, or at least take a major step in doing so. But he needs to stop this bit of form.
Chapelele's invalidated.
Tanger's just gone second.
Yeah, Chapelele's invalidated, so he's going to be starting from P10.
I can hear Droftas fist pumping in the cockpit.
Well, he's still got to set his lap.
Yeah, but he's currently
catching a big bit of slipstream from Emerson, actually.
That's going to help him, actually. I didn't see his first sector time, so I can't comment on what that was, but we're about to find out, I guess, in Sector 2. It's not purple.
Well, as long as it gets him into the top 4, I think he'll be pretty happy. Here we go.
Yeah.
Is that Paulie Orange has done a 29.999.
That is a beautiful time.
So, you know, it just shows the skill of him, doesn't it, really?
So, just in front of him.
And here we go. And he's going to go into 4th.
Yeah, was Abbasis gonna... I didn't see what Abbasis got in the end there. We'll see. Abbasis might have gone fast also. I didn't quite catch that.
Is your mic still far away, or is my audio...
Yeah, no, it has gone a bit further. I keep pushing it closer, but it's...
Maybe you should
like
just
every
like...
girl I've ever talked to, it wants to run away. Abbasis did actually get in front of Droftas in qualifying. Yeah, I thought he did.
So,
pretty good time, that. But still good for Droftas, 5 places above Chapelele at least.
Well, that's something, isn't it? But you're looking at how close this is from maybe P3 to P6, is it? Yeah, P6. It's 2 temps.
P2 to, I mean,
yeah.
Tango. I mean, that is a really quick time for Emerson. He's nearly 3/10 clear of everyone.
That's definitely the quickest we've seen, and I'm just wondering, is he gonna do a Chapelele to us today and maybe take his place?
Yeah, do a bit of a Vettel or Hamilton and just lead from start to finish. Well, we'll see.
Or do you reckon he's gonna do a bit of a Lance Stroll around Portimao?
You mean Turkey when he was leading?
Same thing.
Completely different, but you know, we'll let you off. We'll let you off. I can't judge. I am late. I can assure you I was working, but yeah.
He wasn't. He was sleeping.
Oh yeah, I wish I was actually. But yeah.
What did Velocity have for dinner today? Chicken.
Yeah, he wants to know. He's done another question mark. He can't
you know what?
What
did I have for dinner? I had a pie and mash with peas.
What type pie?
I had a chicken and bacon pie.
Oh man.
A luscious pie that was.
Oh, that's nice.
Cooked to perfection by my father.
Even though I've had dinner, I'm hungry.
You know what? I'm always hungry. I'm a chubby boy. Well,
no, I know you are.
But
what a start for Emerson on the formation lap. He's absolutely miles.
Yeah, he's showing his intentions early.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, obviously he was wishing that was the actual thing.
His Tango's got a brilliant run back on him. And, yeah, no.
All of the top 9 are on soft tyres, but Chapelele's on the mediums, and then Farhad's on the softs, but VIL, Energetics, Dan Murphy, Andreas and Nosey all on the mediums. Shame we've only got 16 tonight, but I guess...
Yes, we did have a bit of a... desertion by some of the drivers in Q2. Well, the only reason Nolsey's actually in P16 is he didn't set a lap time, and Andreas crashed out. So if he'd done a lap time, he would have been into Q2. Don't know why he didn't,
right.
but that's. But
only say why isn't he racing? Yeah, I don't know why he isn't.
Yeah.
We've only got 16
Only why are you not racing? And save some for me. I'll put it in a parcel and I'll post it to Norway for you next time, One.
Regurgitate it.
Yeah. Well, maybe not even. I might just shove a pie in there, shove it through the post box, and it might come a bit flat, but it'll be the same thing.
You know, as long as it's.
It's the thought that counts, I think.
Make sure to sanitize the pie.
Yeah.
Think of COVID.
As it is a soft.
If you don't sanitize the pie, you're going to kill COVID.
Oh, I don't know. Well, yeah, I'll put hand sanitizer on it as well.
Yeah,
I'll mix that in, make sure it's. You know, you can actually get drunk on hand sanitizer.
Well, it's basically vodka. It smells just like.
It's quite nice.
I mean, I hate vodka.
Oh, I do love a bit of vodka, not gonna lie. And to talk about vodka, we're in Russia.
Yeah, what a perfect link.
Obviously, I did say earlier, replacing one Russian driver and having to grab another Russian driver, slightly more hated by everyone, but you know.
Yeah, well, it's the land of vodka and tanks.
And potatoes. They do like their potatoes in Russia as well.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear there's something to do with vodka and potatoes. I swear there's something.
There is, but
yeah, and I think that's the reason they have a lot of potatoes, not because of the potatoes, but because of the vodka. So
I'm not sure it is like how they make their vodka or something.
No, but it has something to do.
Right. So anyway, back onto the race. They've all lined up, and here we go. You can take us through.
Okay. So we're just waiting for the 5 red lights. Hopefully it won't glitch again. This happened the other day. Let's see if it does again. 5 red lights. And away we go. No, it hasn't glitched in terms of the start. And that's a great start from Tango in the Williams. He's getting alongside already, getting alongside Emerson. And he's going to make it into the lead at this rate. They're side by side. Who's going to break later? It's going to be Tango. And there's a bit of contact. There's a lot of chaos in the midfield. A lot of people going wide. Chapelele's already up to 8. Everyone else maintaining position. Liam is going around the outside of Alan.
Well, we've got movements all over the place. Chapelele's just walking his way through. He's on the mediums as well. And we've got both the Alfa Romeos fighting at the back as well. Just
Phil's
trying
got
to...
past FTH. Tango is all over the back
and
of
we've got
the race leader, Emerson. Paulie Orange is past. Droftas is past. We've got a spinner. It's Abbasus. He's in the wall.
Oh, no.
Abbasus is in the wall.
Oh, and oh, my God. Farhad's hit the back of him. There was nowhere for him to go. There was absolutely nowhere for him to go there. Nothing either driver could have done, and that's very, very unfortunate on both parts. Abbasus was completely out of the way, but obviously.
That is really unfortunate. As you say, there was nothing he could do there. And, it's just one of those. It's just nothing. You can't blame either. It's just so unfortunate though, because it's just ruined both their races. I mean, Abbas's races was already ruined, but then his car has just been slammed into the back of Farhad, who's been blindsided. Meanwhile, Droftas is up to 4th, and behind him is Chapelele in 5th. A really good start from Chapelele. Fatality has already got a penalty. I'm not sure if that's a time penalty or for a collision.
I did say it was a 3-second. Not sure what.
Okay, that'd be a time penalty.
So we have got a big. Oh God.
Abbasus in the pits.
As Andreas is in the pits, so I'm just going to stick on board with him and see. It is a front wing change, so Abbasus has retired from the session. He's not the happiest about that, maybe thinking that's just it. But you know, safety cars are always a thing. You got to keep your hopes high.
Exactly. I mean, in Monaco, I know it's a different track, but I mean, I did have a drive through at about 5-6 pit stops.
As we've got our annual glitching of the stand-ins. And
Farhad is continuing. That's good to see. He's made the pit stop. He's changed the wing, but he is continuing. I rate that that shows good strength, good mental strength to do that.
As
And,
Tango is now actually falling off the back of Emerson a bit now, under pressure by Paulie Orange.
Might have burned a bit too much like fuel and ERS early on. That might have been why he was so strong on Emerson.
But it does look again, though, like
Orange.
Chapelele is actually falling off the back of Droftas, Paulie Orange, and Tango as well. So, and we've.
Oh, the leaderboard's fixed itself.
No, it's not. Not completely for me. I've still got Farhad in P1.
Okay,
and
no,
I tell you what, these guys are still massively grouped up coming on to lap 3, and I'm expecting a couple of DRS trains. He's not quite. There we go, and now it's fixed itself.
I think the one to watch is going to be this battle behind Tango, because Paulie Orange and Droftas are right behind him, and with DRS now, as Emerson sets another fastest lap,
here we go.
He's pulling away.
Paulie Orange has opened up the DRS, and he's going to just pass, cruising all the way
Tango
past.
Going to contest this with a late break?
No, he's not.
It a tiny bit. It wasn't.
He is coming back at him though.
Now. I thought he was going to go
and around the outside, and he's not gonna. Is he gonna be ballsy enough? No, he's not gonna do any Ricardo slash Grosjean-esque moves.
Do you remember when exact same place Kimi Raikkonen punted off Bottas in 2016 when Bottas was in the Williams, and Bottas was on for a podium, but Kimi punted him. He went for a dive bomb on the last lap in that exact place, and punted Bottas into the wall. Kimi continued.
Well, Kimi does what he wants, doesn't he?
Yeah, that corner though, I remember particularly because of that in it. I sort of have flashbacks to every time a driver does a move there, and then even this season, that's where Leclerc wiped out Stroll and somehow didn't get a penalty.
See, the problem now Droftas has, he needs Tango to fall out within a second of Paulie Orange, because he's not going to be able to get past at all.
Fatality's got past Chapelele. That's come out of nowhere.
And there we go. Is Chapelele going to switch back? No, he's just sitting behind him. I think
he thought about it.
He knows his position in this race. Maybe he's going to I'm just going to stick on board with these guys, because I feel a move coming. I feel something brewing with Chapelele.
Well,
There's never.
Just did a purple middle sector. Let's see if he sends.
And Paulie Orange has actually. So
no, he doesn't. Paulie Orange does, but he's going to have a run. And
here we go.
Tango. Droftas is making the move on Tango.
Oh, squeezing him right out though, and there we go. And I don't have a very good view on this. Around the outside.
He's cut the corner, so we'll get a warning.
I mean,
he's cut the corner to stay ahead.
No, that is brilliant sportsmanship there.
Letting him back there, because he would not have had the position. He had to really cut the corner to avoid contact. In all fairness.
He did.
But yeah, good to see that, as you say, good sportsmanship to see him handing it back. Chapelele is still in the back of things.
Should we do a little bit of a real life shooter? Yeah, Tango with 5-second penalty there.
Yep.
Skipping the corner. I mean, that was extremely harsh in real life, if I'm being honest. Especially when Grosjean did it, he veered off to go around it, and they still investigated him.
I know.
It was.
Yeah. It's that turn 1 track limits at Russia. They're absolutely horrible too. But Russia's a horrible track. I mean, I think the location is really amazing. Like in the Sochi Olympic Park, it looks beautiful, but the track is not built very well, in my opinion. So
well, I think it's built well, but not for this sport.
Yeah, I mean, on paper you think, oh, that looks like a decent track, long straight, but there's not. It's just.
We've got Chapelele still all over the back of. Fatality. Ailhan is being challenged massively by Liam, and FTH is cruising around on the back of them. But
Fatality is causing a train.
It does look like Tango's dropping off the back of him a bit, and now Paulie Orange does look like he's actually gaining slightly on Emerson. So I think we're going to have a bit of a battle here for P1 in a couple of laps. See, another thing I love about this game though, we don't have the striking distance to ruin battles for us.
Exactly.
As Nosey has actually gone past Dan.
But yeah, Chapelele is starting to get off Fatality. He knows he needs to get rid of him, because although obviously he's on a different strategy, the longer he's held up behind Fatality, the more Droftas gets away, the more that pit window gets bigger and bigger, and he's being held up here. And also, cars behind him starting to form, including Alan, who of course is Droftas' teammate. And Alan will want to help his teammate out. He'll want to.
Oh yeah, they're in parties with each other every week.
Yeah.
They know exactly what Chapelele's doing. They're giving updates to each other. I can guarantee you that. But Droftas will
really gaining as well.
Droftas will be driving his absolute heart out. He knows what he can do here. He's got the pace, doesn't he?
Yeah, I can tell Chapelele as well is pushing hard to try and close up to Fatality, but I think either it's a soft or a setup, because Fatality has got so much more straight line speed. And Chapelele keeps on locking up around pretty much every corner. He's just done it again. Yeah, literally every corner. And again, it's proving my point. I think he's pushing really hard. Although, I don't know if Fatality's made a mistake.
And here we
go. He just went really wide. I think he might have got some...
Here we go. Chapelele moves his inbound.
Yeah, and in the end, that's pretty easy. But
I mean, I got completely mugged off, but you know, with that camera angle.
I think that came from Fatality just losing the rears out of the final corner, because he was, clear enough of him, and then suddenly he was off to the side, and he wasn't letting him through.
Just see, you've seen this delta between him and Tango now. He's just pulling him in so quickly. Yeah. Now, I think and Tango's now picked up a 3-second penalty.
Tango had such a strong start, but his paces seem to have gone off a lot. I'm not sure if he's saving or what, but...
Well, it does look like what's quite nice. I just got an absolutely beautiful camera angle, and that is incredible. I've never seen that before. Sorry, I just had to admire that.
I've just seen that on the stream,
yeah, Tango seems to have sorted his internet out for now. Maybe he's replaced a potato with an orange or something, but well, last time I did say something about a driver today. It was FTH, and yeah, he put it in the wall the next corner, so hopefully he doesn't lag out.
Speaking about drivers, Fatality, I'll tell you what, is catching up to Chapelele. Chapelele may be slowly reeling in Tango, but he hasn't left Fatality yet. Although Chapelele did have a good exit through that sequence of corners. Fatality does seem to be struggling a bit.
The gap between Paulie Orange and Emerson is almost exactly the same as it has been for the last couple of laps.
But Droftas is reeling Paulie Orange in now. And that gap, and he'll be wanting a win today. He said to me that, he'd be happy with P3, but if he can get a win today, even if Chapelele does not DNF, so he doesn't win the championship, it'll be big morale boost, and it'll be a big step.
The thing he needs to keep an eye out on is Chapelele's on the mediums, so near the end of this race, he's going to fly.
He is, and Phil Razor also in P10 is the second of the medium runners, so keep an eye on them. Andreas is obviously pitted, he's on the hards. Farhad is pitted, he's on the mediums again. Really unfortunate incident at the start, where Abbasus, who's retired now in the pits, lost control of the car, got some damage, and as he was going slowly, Farhad was in a battle coming around the corner, completely blindsided and slammed into the back of him. It was really unfortunate, and Farhad dropped to the back of the grid and has had to pit. But fair play to him, he's still going, and I really respect that. Abbasus chose not to, however. Each of their own, and Droftas is right up behind Paulie Orange now. And Alan is closing up to Fatality as well. There's a lot of close battles now out on track. But the thing is with Russia is, you can get this close quite easily. It's the overtaking, especially if you're in a DRS train, that becomes quite difficult to do. Yeah,
well, I'm just going to sit on board because I do feel like we're on the horizon of a move here, and I do think it's about to happen.
We definitely are. Look how close Droftas is getting already, and he's going to breeze
To be honest, I do think Paulie Orange has made that quite easy for him, giving him that room on the inside. But I do also believe that he's in a party with Droftas as well. They have a little squad going on on comms. But no, they know exactly what this championship means to Droftas as well.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And Droftas leading since round 4. We are now in round 18.
I mean, he hasn't had his challenges halfway the way, did he? He had Pease chasing him down, Andreas at the start of the season, now Chapelele, possibly definitely the quickest man we've ever seen in this league, trying his very level best to do what we know
do
of.
The impossible, pretty much, in terms of how late he joined, and you know what? He's only 55 points away, although this result sort of puts not necessarily an end to that fairy tale dream as it stands, but it certainly is a bit of a reality check. Chapelain is actually closing on Tango quite significantly. Is he going to make a move? Tango goes defensive. Chapelain locks up.
It does
Tango
look
looks like he's struggling on those tyres. And the thing is with Chapelain, although he is currently P5, he is on the mediums, and that gives him so much more flexibility and strategy. VIL gets a 3-second time penalty. As expected, we've had quite a few people who have got penalties.
Well, it's extraordinarily harsh around here.
Especially turn 1. Just like in real life.
Well, I think it's worse around here. I mean, you don't have the 5-second stewards going insane, but right here we go, Chapelele's.
Tango. That's going to be easy as you like. That's P4. And next up for him is Paulie Orange, but Paulie Orange is getting a nice tow in the DRS and slipstream of Droftas, so they're helping each other out here, I think. Fatality gets another 3-second time penalty. FTH has got past Liam, and that's a very nice move round the outside into turn 3 there.
Well, I completely missed that because I was just a bit more curious on whether Tango was going to have a go back at Chapelele, which he didn't end up doing. But I tell you what, you've got little battles here, but no, Russia is a very, very difficult one. It's not a. See, I don't think I've seen many drivers like this track. It's very bland.
No, I agree. I think it's a bit like I see I see similarities in 2 tracks really to Russia. I see similarities in Abu Dhabi, and I see similarities in Vietnam. Vietnam in terms of those long, boring straights, not many corners.
Well,
Abu Dhabi in terms of the DRS train, it's quite difficult to overtake here, even though you think it would be easy.
Well, I mean,
because it's just the DRS train.
I don't know about you, but it's just a bit grey, isn't it? If I'm being honest, this track. It's a little bit depressing to drive. If it'll be, they need to put some sunflowers in or something.
It's a lovely view if you look at all the stadiums and stuff around and after.
Yeah, but you've got
FTH is pitted, but in terms of the track layout, it is very B-Tech. It's sort of a lot of straight. Like even the corners are pretty much straight lines. If you look at the track map, it's there's not really any.
It's not a challenge in circuit as such.
No, and I think that's been the problem though with so many modern F1 tracks, including Abu Dhabi and Russia and France. They're all very easy for drivers.
They're very flat as well.
Yeah, they're flat, not many corners, and the corners are quite jaggedy, lots of straights, and just burning ERS and DRS, etc. Paulie Orange has stayed on the back of Droftas, so he's definitely benefiting from this.
Yeah, he'll be saving his ERS, I think.
As Carlos Sainz said in the Sakir Grand Prix, I think they have a good relationship.
Yeah, well, obviously, as it's all cooled down a little bit more, and we're just waiting for maybe the first pits stages and everything. Well, did you see the farewell? And we have actually got, oh god, our first pit of the day, and it is Droftas.
Yeah, he's going for that undercut.
But yeah, what I was saying is, did you see that McLaren told Ferrari to take care of Sainz?
Yeah, it was very cute. Alan is on the back of Fatality now, but yeah, no, the whole thing is very cute. And yeah, it was a really good partnership between Carlos and Lando, and Daniel and Lando, I think, will be a great pairing. It's going to take some beating in terms of the romance that they formed.
Performance-wise, it could be even better because I mean, Ricciardo's like for like in terms of Sainz, really.
I'd argue Sainz is probably slightly better.
I think it comes a lot down to the track, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they're just so evenly matched, but I think that's good for the driver dynamic as well.
Well, the thing is, Ricciardo knows how to have banter, and Norris likes a teammate that can banter as well.
But so did Carlos.
Yes, but Carlos has got Leclerc now, so I mean, Leclerc can banter as well. So Leclerc's very good at football.
He's always doing keepy up.
He's Monegasque, but he's French, really, isn't he?
But yeah, he's always doing keepy uppies in the paddock. Always see him. Alan is closing on the back of Fatality, but he's not closing on this occasion.
Carlos is very good as well. They're actually all quite good, to be honest. Carlos is Carlos. Do you know what? I think we should do a Formula One
Emerson
F1
Pitts. Emerson Pitts. I tell you who isn't good, and so does Paulie Orange. I tell you who sucks at football. Daniel Ricciardo, though. Him in that video with Verstappen.
Oh my! That was Tokyo Drift moment from Chapelele. I thought I'd almost watched to death. I did catch that on stream. It was very dramatic, to say the least.
That's his rear starting to go a bit?
I don't. They can't be. They cannot be.
Yeah, surely too early for the mediums. Emerson's going to come out in. Is it going to be P6? No, he's going to lose at least another position. Here comes Energetics. It's going to be really close. Energetics is going for the move on Emerson, who's just come out the pits. And he's going to fight him hard here into this first corner, but that's a big lock-up from Energetics, and Emerson, in the end, retains the position.
Paulie Orange does come out behind Droftas.
The undercut did not work for Droftas because he has not come out ahead of Emerson.
I wonder if he got caught up in traffic. I would believe he probably did, but because he does seem to have lost. Well, he's not actually. There's not a loss or gain, really.
He's still got out in front of Paulie Orange.
But I'm just wondering, how do you reckon Energetics is going to deal with Droftas now? And there we go.
There's your answer. I don't know why he left Paulie Orange through as well. I mean, I understand Droftas for the championship, but maybe that was just a consequence of that. Yeah, he doesn't want to get.
Energetics has turned off his line, so he maybe just. Oh, and we've got a VSC out. As actually, the only person the only person that's actually going to benefit is Fatality a bit, and I just wonder what that's going to do for him, because
Chapelele's pitting on the VSC. That's significant.
That's going to be on the hards then. He's going to be having to go to the hards.
But he's obviously going to lose a lot less time on the VSC. And I tell you what, that VSC came out perfectly in terms of for Chapelele where he was on track. It meant that he can make.
Wait, he's onto the softs. Is he going to be able to run 14 laps?
There's no way.
Fatality's done 12.
His tyres will be screaming at the end, though. Knowlesy takes the lead of the race. His tyres will be absolutely screaming. Crucially, Fatality also pits.
Emerson and Chapelele are coming out together.
Oh, this is going to be close. Who's got out ahead? It is Emerson. Emerson's got out in front of Chapelele, but Chapelele has got out in front of Droftas, his title rival. So that is very significant.
Thing is, I'm just going to say it. I've got no clue where that VSC's come from, because there's no incidents.
I literally saw nothing on track.
As Andreas is retired in the pits as well.
Chapelele's all over the back of Emerson. Obviously, on those quicker soft tyres, it's going to be a handful for Emerson to keep behind. Dan Murphy's closing in on Knowlesy as well. This is the battle for the lead, although not the net lead in terms of pit stops.
I just wonder if
Chapelele is getting so close to Emerson, he's surely going to have him in DRS. I'm also keep flicking between Dan and the battle between Chapelele and Emerson. Dan's flown past Knowlesy, and Emerson is going to be passed by Chapelele, and he's not offering that much resistance. I think he knows that Chapelele's.
I'm really curious how. Surely Chapelele's tyres are going to be dead by the end of this. I
think he's taking that risk though. Surely he must be. Yeah.
Oh, Droftas looks like he's struggling on the mediums. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, Paulie Orange. I think he had a moment because the gap went down so significantly between Paulie Orange and Droftas. And Paulie Orange has a bit of a moment out there.
These mediums don't seem that nice, do they?
No one likes to be liking the mediums. Not certainly in the opening laps.
I wonder how Chapelele going to deal with these two. Are they going to form a brigade, maybe, or because they do seem to be going a lot slower? As Chapelele's just decided to go around the outside.
Yeah, he's in a hurry on those soft tyres. Wants to make the best of those soft tyres before they start to go off. He'd rather they go off when he's in first than when he's in third.
Well, yeah.
And he can't be doing them much good, constantly locking up. Knowlesy and Emerson, I'll tell you what, these long runners on the mediums are bringing in all the challenges.
With Dan Murphy picking up another 3-second penalty there. But I'll tell you what, he's going to get just swamped, isn't he, here?
Yeah, there's... Emerson's already past Knowlesy, and Chapelele now will quite comfortably get past Dan there. Dan is actually, he fought it a bit. He's forced Chapelele to go quite deep and have
That will lose
Chapelele
Chapelele a fair bit of time, actually.
Yeah, and it won't be good for his tyres. When you lock up for that long,
No.
deep energetics gets another 3-second time penalty. And especially as Dan's just pulled out the way for Emerson. So he was happy to hold up Chapelele, but not Emerson. So I think he wants to win. Nosey on the back of him as well. Chapelele now leads with the fastest lap, which is not good news for Trottas to take the championship at the moment. Still a long way to go, though. 12 laps, in fact. Paulie Orange is gaining on Trottas again, but I don't think he's going to have the straight line speed. Nosey on Dan as well. It's worth mentioning Dan's up there. He's not obviously in the Chancellor Championship, but he's up in the top 5.
Well, they're going to have to pit, aren't they?
Yeah, they will have to pit. Fatality's got past FTH into turn 1, and Alan's closing on Lumiere. But yeah, Chapelele, obviously, as much as he's got to push to try and get that gap, he can't push too much, because if he does, those tyres will go off a lot earlier.
Is it fair to call him #blessed? Yeah, especially with that just random VSC that no one even knows what the hell happened there.
Chapelele?
Yeah.
We'll see at the end of the race, because the fact, if his tyres blow up, he won't be as blessed. So I really think it's too early to call that. In terms of the race and track position and everything, yeah, it's certainly blessed him, but still a long way to go. We could have a full safety car again towards the end.
Or another completely random VSC.
Yeah, apparently they're giving out VSCs. Maybe a dog ran onto the track, maybe Cobalt.
Oh, I mean, they do. They have had a lot of them recently.
Yeah, Bahrain and Turkey, so perhaps they're just implementing that into the game. Droftas is now closing in on Nosey. Paulie Orange is actually slightly closer though to him. As Chapelele does another fast lap of the race. And Paulie Orange there nearly had a moment coming out of the final corner. Now, who's going to have the... Droftas is closing on Nosey fast, but Paulie Orange... Yeah, no, Droftas is going to probably look for Emil Nosey. No, too far
Is he going to
back.
go around the outside just like Chapelele did?
I think he might think about it, because he's going to have a lot more grip on those tyres. Nosey on 15-lap old tyres, as is Dan Murphy up ahead.
He doesn't seem to be.
Phil's got past Alan. That's into turn 1. Simple move there from Phil. That brings him up into P11.
I don't think Droftas is going to be too happy about the way this is going, though, because they're just letting... I mean, Nosey did seem to make this a lot easier for the others, but, you know, it's not dirty at all. He's driving to what he can.
I know what you mean. Droftas will be feeling a bit aggrieved, you know, as you would in this situation. You know, you're already feeling like, oh, just giving so much of a hard time more than the others. But he's now going to get past him.
And Nosey's not made this difficult at all.
But, I mean, I don't think he really could have, to be honest. And, Paulie Orange is looking for the double overtake. Oh,
no, he's not going to get it, but he definitely did.
Droftas now on the back of Dan Murphy as well. Nova in the chat saying, evening lads, sad not to be able to race tonight. Yeah, sad not to see you, Nova. Currently down to 14 runners at the moment.
Continuing going Dan and Nosey are going into the pits now.
So that's going to elevate Droftas into P3, which is where he said, you know, realistically he'd be happy with at the start of the race, but maybe a bit less happy considering that Chapelele will be taking home 26 points as it stands. So with Dan and Nosey pitting, that's going to elevate Fatality, FTH, Liam and Phil. Alan possibly as well. Energetics and Farhad way too far back. Farhad's still going, but yeah, he's on old mediums now. He will have to pit again. And Farhad is just going to be banking on that safety car. And if it doesn't happen, he's not going to have much of a chance. Phil has got past Liam. Yeah, he loves a move into turn 1, does Phil Razor, as he's got past him. But Liam is trying to fight it, but no, he's not really close enough.
No, there's... well, that's the closest thing on track at the moment, and Liam's gone very wide there. I think, to be honest, I think he'll be very happy with points tonight. He's not had the nicest of sessions in terms of things, but Farhad has retired, and to be honest, I can see why. He's so far back. He's smashed out 17 laps, like half a lap behind everyone else. I mean, fair play to him, but the safety car, like he wanted, hasn't happened. He's run to.
He'll be kicking himself though it happens at the end of the race, but yeah, I understand not wanting to wait because it is, you know, it's a high chance it won't happen.
Well, it's not the most enjoyable track, is it? To just run 17 laps on your own.
It's fairly enjoyable when you've got other cars on it. So yeah, especially when he's basically doing TT of Russia.
Yeah.
The entire way. Paulie Orange is continuing to be on the back of Droftas.
Don't really feel like he's going to pressure him, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, what we're going to see again is just probably the straight line speed of Droftas' setup, although maybe but he is going to pressure him a bit. He has got very close to him. I think that's the closest I've seen to.
I'm surprised they haven't swapped places, even if they are communicating. Maybe for Droftas to be towed a little bit, but. Because Paulie Orange at the moment does seem to be the faster driver of the two.
And Paulie Orange could help out Droftas a bit in terms of giving him a tow. Just, you know, for a bit. And then if Droftas starts getting quicker again, they can just swap around. You know?
Well, surely their ERS situations have got to be pretty bipolar, really.
Energetics has got past... no, Energetics just been passed by Dan Murphy, sorry. Who's just come out of the pits, Dan Murphy into P11. Energetics... hasn't been able to get the move done, and Dan is defended, although Energetics is having a run into the end of the first sector, but there's not really an overtaking place there.
Energetics having a moment there.
Big moment. That was a tank slapper and a half, wasn't it? Wow, that was...
Yeah, well...
And he's gone really wide as well.
And this is going to open up the opportunity.
Oh, he's off the track again and gets a 3-second time.
He's really trying to push, isn't he? But it's really...
but he is on the limit. He's on the limit. He nearly spins it again.
It's opened up the opportunity now for Nosey to get through on Energetics. I can see another error coming in a second, and he has actually managed it. Going very, very wide.
I think his tyres are a bit on fire at the moment, considering that...
he's sliding there.
Yeah,
he's a montage with us. I'll tell you what.
He does that,
and Paulie Orange has actually gone past Droftas now.
Yeah. Droftas is going back at him, round the outside.
No, he's not going to have the pace, and I've just completely missed Nosey now. And Energetics has spun.
Oh, well, we all saw that coming, considering how many times he had that tank slap.
Oh my god, and he's...
Oh, Jesus. I thought he was going to lose his wheel then.
Well...
I so thought he was going to lose his wheel.
That's... You know why that's happened, though. His tyres are gone.
Yeah, they're on fire. They are absolutely... Yeah.
And I think if Fatality can hold this position out, this will be his best finishing position of the season so far, I think.
Do you think Droftas and Paulie Orange were listening to that tow tactic?
Probably. I know Droftas has got the stream on most of the time.
He loves listening to my voice.
Yeah, well, I think he listens to it. Well, I think he listens to mine to put him to sleep, but, you know...
Yeah.
For the rest of the day, he's just listening to you all the time.
FTH is closed on Fatality, but Phil also got quite close between 4/10.
Well, Phil's actually on... Oh, no, I thought he was on the hards. I think I'm stupid, but...
Softs, yeah. The red S is for softs, not... S isn't H.
Hards backwards.
No.
Star.
Phil and FTH, yeah, a bit of a train behind Fatality at the moment. He's not liking those mediums. Quite a few people not liking those mediums, aren't they? They don't seem to be a very attractive tyre to be on.
Well, I don't think they switch on too well, if I'm being honest.
They seem, we've seen so many people struggling with those rears, etc. And pace-wise as well. Droftas is one of them. Chapelele, they're not having too many problems on those soft tyres.
Well, he's got another 7 laps to do on him.
Yeah, that's when it's going to get a little bit more challenging for him. And actually, by the time he finishes this race, to be fair, he will only be on 11-lap-old softs, and we saw people go 10 laps quite comfortably, and they were on poorly softs, so I think he is going to make it to the end.
I think you forgot how to do maths. It's 13. Oh, and Phil almost losing it. Phil, do you know what? I think Phil was just shaking his head at you. And he's out! And that's a safety car. That's a big crash there.
I'll tell you what, Energetics will be thanking his lucky start, because he's in the pits. And
I tell you what, though, I don't know. Has that blessed Chapelele again? Because he's going to be able to go into the pits, and he is going to go into the pits.
Yeah, I think it has blessed Chapelele again. I think you're right. It is going to be a hashtag blessed. race. Of course, he's still time for him to make a mistake, whatever. And yeah, Phil pushing too hard. We saw him have a moment. It was similar to Energetics, wasn't it? Where we saw him have a moment, and then, you know, a couple of moments, and then crash. And then we saw it with Phil. He had a moment, he had another moment, and then eventually crashes.
Is that just the thing with this track? Like,
yeah.
I'm just wondering, yeah, Fatality's going to risk the double stack. FTH coming in, everyone's coming in now. And it looks like Dan and Knowles, he probably won't actually. No, they are still coming in. Phil has left the session now.
Literally everyone in...
I'm a bit curious why they have come in though. It's only 2 lap olds, I mean...
Yeah, I guess they want the fresh ones, but still... yeah, it is a bit bizarre. Energetics is going to use this time to try and catch up, but he's still miles behind. So he's going to need to...
I'm curious though, is Chapelele going to be able to stay ahead of Emerson now they're on
curious. The only thing you're curious about is boys. Sorry, it's just a great quote
yeah.
From a YouTube video.
Well,
like, that's why I call you George the Curious. The only thing I'm curious about is boys.
As Matt is now getting distracted by the porn he watches
that's a
late at
YouTube
night.
video with Casey Frey,
He's very annoyed about the Pornhub verified thing, but I think he shoved that on AI. If I'm being honest, that's the sort of...
the AI did. Yeah, I know what you mean in terms of the steering wheel movement. It was a lot more dropped than it just being dropped as. I think he has shoved on AI, but you need to be careful because if you go on AI, you can lose position.
I think Emerson's going to have a go at Chapelele. If I'm being honest, I think Emerson's quicker than Chapelele around here.
I hope not. Chapelele's done nothing wrong.
Well,
in terms of the,
you need to shut up and die.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that one. But yeah, that Phil Razor crash, although it was really sad to see Phil go, it was one, an entertaining crash, and two, it's resulted in Chapelele's lead being threatened because actually, as he said, I'm not sure if he has been blessed. I mean, he's been blessed in terms of he has fresh tyres again, but so does everyone else. It's back to square one, isn't it? Literally everyone on the grid is on 0 lap old.
Well, these are the best safety cars though, because these guys are going to come out, and it's going to be a 5 lap race to the end of the race. These guys are going to be burning everything and giving it everything, because there's no way the safety car's coming in the next lap, I don't think, because Energetics is so far behind.
Back, yeah. And yeah, as expected, hasn't come in this lap. I honestly could see this going to lap 23 this season.
Yeah.
Which is the maximum 3 laps it can do.
I'm just wondering, does Energetics have a delta? Nope, he's absolutely flying.
Yeah, no, he did at the start when it first came out, which is why it took him so long to catch up to everyone else. But yeah, he's now putting his foot down. And, yeah, hopefully he doesn't do a George Russell crashing.
Well, George Russell was a safety car pace, that's the only difference. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I wonder if we're going to see any problems with tyre warm-up though on the safety car restart. That seems to be a problem more with the medium tyre. The softs are quite nice in terms of warming up. Yeah, but on the safety car still, they're not going to be as...
A little red dots catching up quite nice and quickly.
Yeah, you can just see him steaming along. Probably screaming in Dutch.
Probably.
Just the wheels on the bus go round and round.
He's defo singing his bus songs right now to make him go quicker. Do you know what?
I think have a compilation at the end of the season of all of Hilker's races just with the wheels on the bus go round.
Yeah, to be honest, it might be quite nice, especially some of last season as well.
Oh yeah.
Singapore safety car restart, it immediately springs to mind.
Oh yeah, I was behind him for that. I led the race briefly.
That has got to be one of the most entertaining ones, to be honest.
I was just sitting behind him, and I was just like, oh, okay, here we go. You know, I'm on the hards. Just gonna be cautious on the restart. Oh, there's Hilker. He's in the wall.
Well, he just went straight on, didn't he?
Like, literally, as soon as the safety car went in, he put his foot down and just lost the car and went flying off. And then I somehow found myself in the lead for about a quarter of a lap, but, you know.
Well, I think we might have a safety car out for one more lap. As Farhad has actually
just too far behind.
Posted his incident in the thing with Abs.
I think
but I'm not
he'll
sure.
realise when he sees... I think, to be fair, obviously all he saw was Abs going really slow. he didn't know anything about the damage or anything before. So I think, yeah, once
obviously POVs from the Red Bull will be required anyway.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Yeah, and it is going around another lap. Energetics has just joined the back of the grid, but what a surprise! I am right. I said it would be lap 23 when it went in.
well, I mean, it didn't take a genius, did it?
You know what it did, actually? Yeah, how about that?
Can't really argue that now, can I?
Yeah, no, you can't. Absolutely.
As you can see, these guys weaving. I'm just wondering, do you reckon Chapelele and that are going on tyre wear? Because these guys are weaving, and obviously their tyres are going to get worn a lot more than Chapelele. Just sort of driving.
Maybe Chapelele, to be honest, just has more confidence in the temperature of his tyres, you know.
I mean, he doesn't care if he's in the wet, does he?
No, and he's got so much experience by now in terms of leading and doing safety car restarts. He doesn't exactly need the advice of how to best do it, does he? Considering he's
just be curious, right? What do you reckon?
Curious.
Okay, sorry. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering what happens. You know, EA of buying Coma. What happens if like they added natural disasters to races? So like 1 in every 1,000 race could just have like a hurricane that blows every car off the track or something.
Well, that would just be bizarre.
I mean, especially around Japan, if they could have like typhoons or something.
They're just like, oh, I think it'd be quite cool if you just brought in, like, you could pack the safety car, just drive it. Oh, I get to pack the safety car, they just drive it around.
Well, I do think...
and you just come out whenever you want, as well. Like, so, like, people will be racing...
And safety cars in this lap, so maybe
they go... around, and then you just decide, I'm coming out...
Well, do you reckon you're going to have to, like, pack the soft tyres, so everyone's going to, like, be given starter tyres or something?
Or... 2 packs of hards.
Yeah.
And they have to last you about 50 races.
You have to put on tyre wear,
you buy loads of
consumables and all that.
Yeah, that give you that.
All attributes to the softs, so they have more grip.
Tyres. Instead of fitness, it'd be durability. Anyway, we should probably focus on the race because it's about to restart. Chapelele backing them up. I don't think he'll dart until the very last minute. He'll want to give himself the best restart
look at them all.
Of course. It looks quite cute.
Yeah,
he's going earlier than I thought. And you know what? He's caught out Emerson a bit there.
He's slid a little bit.
Although Emerson's right back at him, and we're back underway. And Emerson's actually really closing in.
Oh, but we've got Droftas under pressure by Tango. Oh my god, they almost touched.
Tango's going down the inside. Meanwhile, Emerson for the lead is pulling out. Going down the inside, Emerson for the lead, Chapelele.
Oh, he cuts off the front nose there. That is incredible. But Droftas has just gone back around.
Back, yeah. And that's significant because Chapelele.
Oh, and Chapelele and Emerson are side by side again. And Emerson's defending. Oh, they're side by side still. That's opening up Paulie Orange to come in for the win of this race. He got robbed last week, and maybe he's.
Well, look at it. He gets a 3-second time penalty.
I'm just gonna. Well, Droftas does like to make stuff hard for himself, doesn't he? So, as Paulie Orange has actually just grabbed himself 3 seconds as well, and Energetics is like 8 millionth penalty, but you know.
So there's only.
Well, I feel. And Emerson
the top 2 still without penalties as it stands.
Is actually outpacing Chapelele, as I did say earlier, and he's looking brilliant for this.
He is, and Droftas will be banging on the door for the Orange as well. Liam, close on the back of FTH, who has a big lock up there, but the Turkish driver stays on track. Dan Murphy also getting close to him, and Dan getting very close to the back of him there. A bit too close. Taking a leaf out of Mazepin's book there, perhaps. Paulie Orange on the back of Chapelele. Emerson does the fastest lap of the race with a 1:32.6. Is anyone going to be close enough? Obviously no DRS yet. So
I don't think anyone is. We've got like a perfectly spaced gap between every single driver. It's quite cool to watch.
Yeah, until that DRS comes out, there's not going to be the required gap to get it, and Paulie Orange risking it a lot, getting a lot on that curve with his left tyre. How many laps since I say to you, will DRS be next lap?
Yes.
Yeah, so there'll only be 2 laps of DRS running, so this is last chance saloon for a lot of the drivers, and they will be relying on that DRS. I think a lot of them this lap, if they're clever, will be saving their ERS, saving their fuel, whatever necessary, and then staying within DRS range still, but just doing enough, if you know what I mean, and then pushing the final 2 laps when they have DRS. They'll have the least amount of fuel, the most fuel to burn, etc., and just go for it, because yeah, we're in that period of the race now with just 2 laps to go. Well, 3 laps. No, 2 laps.
Oh, we've got X Gaming supporting Orange, say, and have it Orange, come on son.
Yeah, he's in a good position at the moment. He'll certainly be on the podium.
You know what?
As it stands at the moment. Well,
he would well, FTH is kind of lurking, and I think he's within 3 seconds at the moment, so you've...
Or just outside it, yeah, but Paulie Orange will be hoping. He certainly deserves to be in terms of track position. Chapelele with another big lockup. Emerson does another fastest lap of the race.
FTH picked up a 3-second penalty just now. He's going to be kicking himself.
But that just shows as DRS is enabled that Emerson has got that pace, because he's just done a fastest lap of the race. And Chapelele did gain a bit because of DRS, but not enough. Tango's dropped out of the DRS range of Droftas. Meanwhile, Droftas is staying within DRS range of Paulie Orange as it stands.
Well,
Chapelele's got a lot closer because of that DRS range, though, on the back straight. But
I don't think he's going to be close enough coming into this next one, though.
Big lockup. No, definitely not with that big lockup. He's lost a lot of time.
As we've got Liam all over the back of FTH, and he's going to be looking at this next DRS zone, and really looking behind him as well, as Dan's closing up on him. And oh my God, they're all over the shop at the back here, and Dan's Elhan's got energetics at the back of him, and also trying to look at Nosey in front. This is the
Orange is gaining on Chapelele here. He's not going to be close enough, but tell you what, he might, if he gets a good exit, he might have a good chance. As I think Chapelele definitely burnt some ERS there, because he got a lot closer to Emerson and suddenly pulled away from Paulie Orange at the end of the straight. But I think if Paulie Orange can get a good exit here and he's saved enough ERS, he will have a good chance coming onto the back straight, which will help Droftas out massively.
Well, I tell you what, this could be a good result for Williams. They always seem to get in this position and then like bottle it at some point in the race. But
Droftas has done the fastest lap of the race. Fatality as well has been really improving in these races.
Yeah.
And obviously Tango with that internet connection. Final lap now of the race. Paulie Orange isn't close enough. Chapelele is not close enough. Emerson just needs to hold on, although Chapelele is getting very close. Emerson just needs to hang on.
And Paulie Orange is going to be hoping these guys get penalties, because he's not currently in it. And Dan Murphy and Energetics picking up their 15,000th penalty. And someone's gone off. Dan's spun.
Dan's,
or something.
No,
Dan's had an issue.
I think. Or
oh, right. I think he cut the corner or something and gained some... I'm not sure, but...
FCH is all over the place out of that corner. Leaving me out on the back of him.
As I'm just looking at, I don't think any of the front 4 are going to be changing positions.
No, I don't think they're close enough. Honestly, I think they'll be able to get a bit close, but it's not going to be close enough. And obviously, this is the last opportunity.
Energetic's picking up another one. Is he going to get disqualified?
He's going to if he gets a few more.
And Liam, is still not close enough. And the problem is he's got Nosey on his ass, and we all know what Nosey's like. He's going to jump.
Has got the gap. Now it's just down to Emerson whether he can win this race. A mistake or a penalty now could cost him into the final.
Oh my God! Paulie Orange almost bowled it.
Yeah, I just saw that in the background. Goodness me, that must have been a heart and mouth moment. But Emerson is going to come across the line and win today's race. Chapelele in second. Paulie Orange will be the final podium sitter. Tango in 5th. Fatality in 6th. As you say, very good job.
Nosey in 6th.
Nosey up to 6th. Fatality drops down to 10th though.
Oh,
Tango still gets 5th. And
Energetics has spun again. But no, brilliant race. If you could invite the guys this time, because obviously,
no
and honestly,
actually a lot of worries.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not happy about it. But I'll tell you what, good race again from Nosey. P16 to P6. He's good at that. I mean, maybe if he qualified, he'd have been up there with the podium sitters, but
so
I don't know.
Just misses out on the podium. That's quite significant for the championship in terms of Chapelele gains. Well, he doesn't gain that many points in all fairness.
I don't think it's enough. It's not what he needs, but...
No, it's not what he needs, but it's not what Droftas needed particularly. He would have liked to have put the pressure. It's Paul the Orange here in the flying. Pretty sure Evans front. And he's just pulling the flying to be annoying. Just waiting confirmation.
Points plural by Liam, and he's happy with that result. And I did say he'd be happy with points today. And Tango saying that was boring for me. I mean, it's not the most enjoyable track, is it? And there we go. We've got the drivers added. But Chapelet from P10 to P2, that's a good race there. I mean, if I'm being honest, if Knowlesy didn't gain himself 10 places, it definitely got driver of the day.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. And yeah, but just wait for. Okay, that's all of them added. Emerson is the first to join, and as he's the race winner, we might as well start with you, Emerson. You just about hung on at the end of Chapellet's charge, but you did excellent getting past him after that safety car period where you're all on the softs, all on the same age of softs, so it was just pure battling. And congratulations on your win. How does it feel? Because I know you've been in this position quite a few times with Chapelet, and then it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I don't think starting on the softs. Well, to begin with, it seemed like a good idea just because track position around here. I mean, it's quite a difficult place to overtake, even though there's 2 long straights. But the virtual safety car and the proper full course safety car literally went against me. Although I'm not quite sure if the softs could have gone from the end after the first VSC from Chapelet. But yeah, obviously the second safety car kind of neutralised that, and I knew my biggest opportunity was just to get him on that safety car restart, and it was a pretty ballsy move. I mean, in my opinion, I was quite lucky that he did give me the room, and I was a bit worried that he was going to get the DRS on the last 2 laps and maybe overtake me on the last lap, but I think my setup must have been a bit more slippery in a straight line, and I managed to keep him behind me.
Yeah, no, it was a really good stint, that second stint especially. In terms of the start of the race, obviously, I mean, you got pole. So I guess anything else than a win is always disappointing from pole. But Tango was right alongside you at the start. Were you a bit worried about his early pace? I know obviously you faded away a bit, but
yeah, I mean, I didn't get the best of starts, to be honest. And sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. He got a really good start, and he was kind of alongside me. But again, I think he was just running a setup that kind of must have not come in as quick in a straight line. And as we got closer to the first corner, I kind of got that little bit edge of a head, and just managed to keep him behind, and then build a bit of a gap. And then kind of just manage it from there on.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your win. It was a really impressive performance, and have a good Christmas, because this is the last race obviously until 2021 actually.
Thank you, mate, and you.
Yeah, thank you. So let's talk to second place now. Chapelet. Unfortunate for you, you led quite a bit of the race, but I mean, qualifying you did start 10th, so it was a good fight back from you. Just talk us through that race.
I don't know what happened in quali, because I did the same in Q1 and it got me a valid time. And all of a sudden it invalidated it, but you know, I started P10 on mediums. My pace was pretty shit. But then the VSC came and my tires would have been like 70, 75 at the end, so I would have made it. But no, a safety car comes out. Then I thought Emerson used too much ERS at the start, so I just let him by. But you know, his pace was just better then.
Do you think the second safety car was a good thing or a bad thing for you? Because obviously, as you said, your softs probably would have made it, but they would have been on the edge.
I still think I would have kept Emerson behind after that, because yeah, I think I had a 5-second gap, so the safety car was pretty shit.
Yeah, just one of those days, but at least you have gained some points on Droftas. I know it's not ideal, but at least at some points for you. Congratulations on the second place, and commiserations for not getting the win. And finally, Paulie Orange, good to see you back on the podium. We saw, that battle with Droftas. You sort of kept switching, giving each other DRS, but you showed really good pace today. And especially on the mediums, you seemed a lot quicker than Droftas. You seemed to be struggling, even when you were behind him for a while.
Yeah, I think Josh was struggling on the mediums. He's a bit quicker than me on the softs, so I was like, don't fight it, use his DRS. save some fuel. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and happy to be back on the podium because obviously I don't think after France, where you had such a good performance, hasn't been as good for you. Do you like Russia? Were you happy? Were you expecting a podium from this race, or was it just?
I wasn't
nice
expecting one. I was hoping for one. It's not a bad track for me, but I don't know. I've been unlucky in a few races with safety cars and virtual safety cars. Yeah.
Did you think you ever had a chance of winning this race, perhaps if you qualified further up?
Oh, if I got pole, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, I'll take third. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, and happy to see you back on the podium, and Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in 2021. Same goes to you, Chapelele, and same to you, Velocity, and we'll see you in 2021 for the VIL for the finale, for the final 4 races of the season, and wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.